Hey guys, it's me, the MOBMOD guy. In this video, I'm gonna be showing you how I make the cool MOBMOD sprites. And I'm gonna try my best to make it as quick as possible because. Alright, so first, you need Mine-Imator and sprite sheet generator for FNF. That's all you need, The first thing you need to do is open Mine-Imator. I already got mine open, so. Now, if you just installed Mine-Imator, you're probably gonna see something like this. You're gonna wanna go to new project, then you rename the project to whatever you like. I'm just gonna rename it something like cool tutorial for cool MOBMOD sprites. This is not really necessary, so you can just go ahead and create the project. Once you create the project, you're gonna be welcomed with a flat world kind of thing, just like Minecraft. I'm not really gonna show you how to use Mine-Imator as a whole, but I guess I can show you the basics. First of all, this is the project properties that you said earlier. Cool name. The first thing you probably want to do is, create a character, right? So how to do that? You just go over here on the cool crafting table, and you will see this cool menu. You will be seeing this cool Steve right here, just chilling. You can select any skin you want. You can download from a Minecraft user. I'm just gonna get mine. Boom, that's me. You go on done, you click on done. Now you can choose whether you want the skin to be slim or wide. Personally, my skin is slim for some reason, so I'm just gonna click on create, and bam, you got yourself a cool Gabo Diaz. That's me right there, look! Once you have your cool character model, you want to add keyframes. Now, what are keyframes? Keyframes are pretty much what moves the character. That way you can animate it and stuff. For example, you want your character to go from here to over here. You just create two keyframes. One for the starting point and the other one for the finish or whatever. And then you just move your character like this and wow, it moves. Now let's start with the idle. I'm gonna make the most basic idle for this tutorial, so please don't judge me. Oh, something I forgot to say, you gotta make a camera. You go to the cool crafting table, you click on camera, boom, you have a camera. Now what is this camera for? Well, it's a camera. I don't know how to explain it. Let's say I want my character to face this way. So I'm gonna put the camera like this. Make the FOV a little bit less. You can also change the aspect ratio. Now you have your camera, now you have your character. Now we're gonna start with the idle animation for the character. No. I want my character to be like looking over there. And then I'm gonna be like, what's over there? Then you get the cool thing. Me personally, I like to make the arms a little bit like low like this. It kind of adds to it, it's kind of like these are the elbows. In case you don't really get it, these are the elbows in some cases. That way you can be like Wah! and your character will be flexing or something. I don't know. Wah, 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 wah. I'm gonna tilt his body a bit like this, kind of like that. Then for the legs, I'm gonna make his knee kind of pop out. Not really a knee. And you got your pose. Hooray! Something I forgot to mention is that you can just use bendings like this, but I don't really like to use them because they're kind of ugly, or at least to me. See, he agrees. Anyways, you have your pose. What now? Well, you copy these and put it at the very end. Why? I don't know, I just like to do that. Alright, so now you go to the very first keyframes, and I'm gonna make the body go a bit lower, and then I'm gonna make both arms do this, kind of like go up a little bit and down at the same time. I'm gonna make my character be squished a little bit. You just gotta go to the transform thingy, go to scale, click on this, you just go boom, boom, and then you can just like do this and it gets squished. And I'm gonna make the head go down, boom, and then boom. And now you got your idol. How cool is that? You will probably notice that it looks very bad. The way you can spice this animation up is by using tweens. What are tweens? I don't know, but they make stuff look cooler. You just select the keyframes you want to tween, and then you right click. Oh, it's called transitions, my bad. You right click and then you go over here, and then you can, for example, use the back one. Kind of makes it look cooler. It just kind of adds to it, Me personally, I don't use tweens a lot, but they can be really helpful. I'm gonna change up the animation a little bit before we go to the poses. Alright, so now I've finished tweaking the animation. What now? We start with the left pose. Yay! I'm not really gonna explain how to make a left pose. If you know how to make an idle already, you're probably gonna nail it anyway, so see you when all the poses are done, I guess. Finally, the animations are done. Right, so as you can clearly see, we got the idle, left, down, up, and right. What you're going to do now is go to project properties, go to environment, disable the ground and clouds. Now this is kind of optional, but I like to do this. Remove the fog and make the sky gray, and now your eyes won't burn. Yeah. Before we render this, I want you to have some stuff in mind. Hax is a 2D engine. Pretty sure you already know that. So we're gonna have to make these sprites, you know, for FNF. You can make the resolution as high as you want, but have in mind that the higher the resolution, the more usage FNF is going to need to run FNF on your PC. So I'm gonna set this to, I don't know, 300. Okay, so now we're gonna make a cool little test by rendering this cool image. You're gonna want to go to image size, then custom, then set whatever you set here. In my case, it's 300 and 300. You're gonna want to remove the background and then click save. Now if you go to the image you just rendered, you're gonna notice something, and it's kind of blurry. Now the way you avoid this is by going to Mine-Imator, then go to project properties, you go over to render settings, you click on performance, and then you go to custom and you remove anti-aliasing. That way the next time you render the image, it won't add the little blur thingy, and you have yourself cool pixel thingy. Yeah. If you want to, you can also stay like this. I mean, it doesn't look that bad, but for pixel art, it's not the best. Once you're sure that the character looks good and everything's fine, blah blah blah, you're gonna want to delete the thingy and you're gonna make a folder. This is optional, by the way, but I kind of like to do this to organize stuff. So you're gonna want to name this idle, make another one for left, down, up, and right. Now once you have all of these folders, what you want to do is just select from the start of the idle to the end with right click. You gotta go up here on this bar right here, you just select it, and you will see that it has selected the idle, just the idle and not the rest of the animations. Now you click on render and render animation. Once you click that, this is what you're gonna be seeing. This is very important for the making of the sprite sheets. You gotta change the format to PNG sequence. Now the frame rate is optional, but as I said before with the resolution, the higher the frames, the more usage is gonna be using when you put the character into your cool little FNF mod. So me personally, I like to stick with 24 frames. Now you wanna have this checked because that will remove the background. You already did that with the image one, so it should be fine. So now you click on save. Then you gotta go to the folder that you made that says idle, and boom, you just wait. It's gonna render the thing. It's rendering, 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 and boom, it has rendered. Now if you go to that folder, you will see that there's a bunch of PNGs. These PNGs are every single frame on the idle animation. You're gonna want to do that with every single pose. We already did the idle one. Now we're gonna do the left. I'm gonna render the animation. You go back, left, and you're gonna want to do that with all of the rest of the animations. Now once you have every single animation rendered in every single one of these folders, you're gonna want to go to the sprite sheet generator for FNF. Y'all wanna know something funny? I made like a cool little animation for when I'm working and I forgot to put it. So that's kind of annoying. I've been talking to you guys instead of working on the thing this whole time. It's kind of annoying. But anyways, now we're on the sprite sheet XML generator for Friday Night Funkin. Explosion. We're gonna see this cool HUD. Actually no, you guys are not gonna be seeing this. It's gonna be probably a bit different. I used a very old version of this. You're gonna want to name the character whatever the character's name is. I don't know, whatever you want to name it. Mine is just gonna be Idgawu. And now you're gonna want to go to add frame image. You're gonna go to the cool folders you made. You go to the idle, for example. You select all of them and then you press on open. And then you will have all of the frames that you've just selected in this cool little menu. Now to rename them, you just gotta click on every single one of these. I'm pretty sure there's an easier way to select all of these on the newer versions, but I don't care. Anyways, now that you selected all of these, you're gonna set the animation post name, and here I'm just gonna call it idle. And boom, you have yourself a cool idle. You can go over here to view and preview animation to see a little preview of the animation that you just selected, and you will see that it's the same animation that we just rendered over here. See, look. So now you're gonna want to add every single animation and rename them all. For example, I already selected all of these. Now I'm just gonna name it left because it's the left post. And boom, now that you have all of the animations renamed and added and everything, you can go over to the view thingy again and check every single animation to see if there's anything wrong or anything. You can go to the left, you'll see that that's the left one, down, up, right, blah blah blah. So once you've done all of that, you want to go to generate XML. You select the path you want to put the sprite sheet on, and you select it, and boom, they have generated. And as you can see, I have my cool looking sprite sheet over here. Wow, look at them, wow, that's so awesome. Now if what you were looking for is how to make the cool angle changing cool mid-song animations like in MOBMOD, that is a whole another thing that kind of takes a bit of skill. So you're gonna need to be a little bit advanced on Mine-Imator as a whole. I'm gonna try to explain it as quick as I can because I don't want this video to take 1,000 years. So here we go. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is open the cool crafting table again. You go to scenery, and then you click over here, and then you click on import from world. Now if you click on the world thingy right here, you will see every single world you have on your Minecraft Java. Now if you don't have Minecraft Java and you use Bedrock instead, you have to convert that Bedrock world into Java edition because Mine-Imator doesn't support Bedrock worlds, I think. Pretty sure. In my case, I'm just gonna use one from the world selection thingy, and I'm gonna select the versus mobs map that I will make very public soon. Boss has worked on this for a very long time, and what it is every single MOBMOD map in one world. Once you find a cool spot, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna see this green square thingy. That's not a square, that's a cube, my bad. And then you're gonna want to left click, then just like make a small cube or whatever. Then you're gonna want to extend that cube and make sure that the whole stage you want in is selected. And once you've selected everything, you just click on import selection. It's gonna ask you if you want to make some blocks animated that you can modify inside of Mine-Imator, but it kind of takes some resources, so I'm just gonna click on no, and then you click on create. Now you're gonna have in your hand this big ass fucking stage right here. It's gonna look kind of weird, but you're gonna have the thingy right here. Look, it's the thing we just selected, but in Minecraft stuff, I guess. Now normally what I do first is add the stage and then I animate the characters, but since we animated the character first, I'm just gonna move the character a bit to over here, and I'm gonna move the camera behind the Gabo Diaz, like kind of like this. And now I'm gonna change the resolution of the thingy so we can have a little bit of more space, and you have this. Now I'm not gonna animate a whole different character over here, so what I'm gonna do is just duplicate the already existing Gabo, and I'm just gonna make him look this way and position him right here. Now you have two Gabos. Now I could just show you how to render the stuff, make them a sprite sheet and end the video, but I'm gonna try to show you as briefly as possible how to make good or decent lighting. This video is gonna be like 2 hours long, I swear to God. This window has a bunch of stuff up here. This is for the cool grid that I like to use to kind of, you know, just use it. I don't know. And you will see these 3 balls. The first ball just removes every single form of lighting. The second ball is kind of make it look like Minecraft but not at the same time. And the third one is the high quality one. Now, since we haven't added any type of lighting, the high quality thingy just kind of looks pretty flat, and you'll probably go like, oh, I'm just gonna go with this one because it looks like Minecraft. You could do that, but cool lighting. So I'm gonna show you how to do that really fast. As you can see, there's a bit of lanterns right here. What color is this lantern? It's blue. Orange. It's orange. So what you want to do now is go to the crafting table again. Then you go to light source and you will see spotlight and point light. What the point light does is it adds a point of light, and the spotlight just makes it so there's light pointing at a single direction and not at every single direction. So in this case, I'm gonna be using point light because I want the light to go on every single direction. Now, the way you add color to this is you go to light, then you select a light orange because lantern, and you will see that not everything is lit up. For example, the back of this is not lit up, and that is simply because the lantern is on the fucking way. So there's two ways of fixing this. You can either put the light inside of the lantern. That will kind of look weird in some cases, so I don't like to do that. So what I do is I add two lights, one for this side and another for this side. Now I don't think lanterns throw this much light, so I'm gonna make the range of the lanterns a little bit smaller. And I'm also going to up the strength of the lanterns. This will make it so the light is more intense, as you can see. There's also another lantern right here, but since it's not really on camera, you just put this light right here, wherever you want. There's not really a lantern back here, but it will look kind of weird having no light here. So I'm just gonna add another one, and I'm gonna put it right over here. See, there's a cool light now, which is very cool, I think. I'm gonna add a cool light coming up from the pit. I'm gonna make it kind of like orangey, just pretend that it's lava. And now I'm just gonna add random lights to the place to kind of give it a bit of color, because color is nice. It's kind of to give it a cool little vibe to it. I don't know. It's nice just adding random lights to the place. Alright, so the lights have been added. I added a bunch of lights. They don't really make sense, but it's fine. Now here's something I do that I forgot to mention. If you see, for example, that if you just like hide the head and everything, you will notice that it only shows the visible part of the skin. You don't want to do that. It kind of looks weird. So you're gonna have to select all of these, go to appearance, then you click on show back faces. That way you will be able to see the back of the faces. I don't know how to explain it, man. Now since this Gabo right here is kind of like the opponent, I'm gonna make him evil. Gonna go to material, go to color properties, and I'm just gonna make him red because he's bad. There's some stuff that I like to tweak a lot that make this stuff look a lot better. For example, the environment settings. Since we're in a cave right here, we don't really need a sunlight. So we gotta go over to sunlight, then just put the strength to 0. And on scene colors, you can change the ambient of the thingy. For example, if you want it blue, you can add blue to it. If you want it white, you can add white to it, but that looks bad. You want pitch black, which I don't recommend, you can do that, I guess. Since we're in a cave full of lanterns, I'm just gonna make it kind of like orangey. I also really recommend using the fog, because it kind of adds a nice touch to this stuff. Can make the distance a little bit low. Then you go to custom fog color, and then you can change the color of it. And now once we're done with the environment settings, you want to go to the render settings, because this changes a lot of the graphics that you can have inside of the thingy. Since Mine-Imator puts the render setting to performance mode by default, and then you go to custom, you're gonna see a lot of stuff being turned off. For example, the ambient occlusion. What the ambient occlusion does is add a bit of like shadow between the blocks so it doesn't look as rough. Since we're in a cave, I'm gonna add a bunch of it, just like 250. And you will see that if I turn it off and on, you can clearly see the difference, and it adds a lot of depth. It's kind of good, but don't add too much because it will look weird. Now the shadows, be careful with what you do with the shadows. If you make it gigantic, for example, it will literally kill your PC unless you have like a killer PC or whatever. Me personally, I like to keep it medium, but you can do whatever. If you have a killer PC, you can go ahead and kill your PC. Now, subsurface scattering. Basically what it does is add cool edges to the characters. The way you do this is selecting every single parent keyframe, then going over to subsurface properties, and then you can change the radius. I'm gonna keep it on 0.2 because I don't want to add a lot to it. You can tweak some of the subsurface settings with this. You can change the blur quality, although I don't think that does too much. You can change how much it highlights. For example, you can make it go like, wow, very bright, or wow, not very bright. And the highlight strength makes the highlights stronger, I guess. You can see that this is before the highlight strength modification and this is after. As I said before, I don't like adding too much, so I'm just gonna keep it on 150 or 100. It's fine, it's up to you. So that's all of your render settings. You would think that this is all you can do, but nah man, there's more. If you click on the camera keyframe, you will see all of these options. These options are cool effects that you can add to your renders. For example, you can add depth of field, which adds blur to the backgrounds. You can change the range of it, how much you want to blur it. I'm just gonna add a little bit of it. There's some options that don't go well when rendering on PNGs. I'm gonna leave some text saying which options do not work well for rendering on PNGs, so keep that in mind. And hear me out, this is the best lifesaver option if you don't like your fucking renders. You go to color correction and you can change the contrast of it, you can change the brightness, you can change the saturation, you can add a little bit of it, and you can change the vibrance. Now look at the difference that makes. This is with, without, with, without. You can tweak this as much as you want until it looks good for you. I personally use this option a lot. It's pretty much like a lifesaver. And once you're done with that, you're good to render everything that you've done. The background is finished, the characters are finished, you are finished. You're gonna die tomorrow, I'm sorry. So now, how are we gonna render all of this into individual sprites? As you may know, for MOBMOD, I sometimes merge the backgrounds with the characters. It's because in some parts, there's gotta be some cool shadows, maybe some light changes with the characters and stuff like that. In this tutorial, I'm going to be using that method just because there's a little bit of shadow moving around with the character, with the evil Gabo Diaz. So now I'm gonna be rendering the evil Gabo Diaz first. So the way you want to do this is removing the good Gabo Diaz. I'm sorry, good Gabo Diaz. And then you do as before and just select the idle for the evil Gabo Diaz. As you can see, this is just the idle. Then you click on render, render animation, and make sure that the new aspect ratio that you set earlier on the camera settings are here as well. And since the character is merged with the background, you don't really need to remove the background since there's not really a reason to do that. So once you do that, you want to click on save, and now you're gonna want to make two folders, one for the evil Gabo Diaz and another one for the good Gabo Diaz. Now since we're rendering the evil Gabo Diaz first, you're gonna want to go to evil Gabo Diaz and then just make the same as before, idle, left, down, up, and right. And since we're only rendering the idle, we're just gonna click on the idle thingy and click on save. You already know the drill. You do this to every single animation and boom, you are done with evil Gabo Diaz. Alright, once you're done rendering every single pose with the background and everything as it should be, you're gonna want to go back to Mine-Imator, unhide Gabo Diaz, and hide everything else but good Gabo Diaz. So I'm gonna be hiding evil Gabo Diaz and the background. Once you've done that, you go to render, render animation, and this time you do have to click on remove background. And then you have to click on save. Then you go back to good Gabo Diaz. I already made my cool folders, so we're gonna start with the idle, and you know the drill. You do the rest for the rest of the animations. Alright, now once you've finished rendering everything, good Gabo Diaz and evil Gabo Diaz, you can finally close Mine-Imator because we're done with it. So now you want to open sprite sheet generator again, and you're gonna want to do sprites for good Gabodias and evil Gabodias. I already showed you how to make the sprites, so I'm not gonna explain it this time. I'm just gonna fast forward a little bit. And I'm done. I already made sprite sheets for both evil Gabodias and good Gabodias. You can see here, this is good Gabodias, and then you can go here, this is evil Gabodias with background included and everything. Now I could show you how to code this stuff in, but I don't really want to make this video that long, and I'm pretty sure most of you guys are gonna use Psych Engine anyways, and I think that has like a built-in character editor and everything. So I will just show you a quick demonstration of how it kind of looks in game. I'm just gonna replace some assets from MOBMOD and show you the assets on action. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, so I finished replacing files. You know, I chose to replace the Warden files with the evil Gabodias and everything. I haven't really tried it out. I really want to see how it ends up looking. Let's see. Right, so the song started. So it didn't crash. Oh look! Why is he bopping so slow? But fucking the good Gabodias is not even bopping. He's just staring at him. Oh, I don't think that's supposed to happen, but that's fine. All right, and it works. The sprites, they work. Yes, both sprites are working perfectly. Doesn't seem to be any errors with them. You can see evil Gabodias is popping off right now. The camera's a bit off, but remember that I did just replace the assets and didn't really change any code. So it's just using the camera from the Warden one. So it is fine. And yeah, that is how I make my MOBMOD sprites. I really hope you learned something. You probably did. I don't know. If you ever do something cool with this tutorial and do, you know, your cool creations, please upload it to Twitter and tag me. I really want to see your creations. Now, I didn't really cover every single Mine-Imator thing ever in this tutorial, but if you really want to look forward into improving, I would really recommend watching Mine-Imator tutorials. Me personally, I kind of learned from Keep on Chucking and some other guy with a diamond as a profile picture. I don't really remember them, but they're really cool people and I really recommend you check them out. Some of their videos are really outdated because I'm pretty sure one of them just kind of quit Mine-Imator a big while ago, but you will probably find it useful anyway. So yeah, I've heard you. I know you want some of the MOBMOD assets like the mic texture and everything, the skins. I will be leaving them in the description probably. I was just waiting to do this video so I can make them public, but it kind of took me a while. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye bye. I don't know how to say bye. Just I'm waving goodbye. I don't you can't really see it, but I'm waving goodbye. I love you guys. I love you guys.